Hunter disappeared. He may be. Wait,
I think
Hunter has returned.
Coffee makes him
I was
poop.
going to say he disappeared in the cloud of insulin, but he's back, so I can't make
Cloud of
that
insulin.
joke. Can't make that joke anymore.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
All right, so I have my list of famous people that need to be protected in 2020, and it's Betty White, Kristen Bell, Robert Irwin, and Hunter's mom.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. Yes, I love you, Diana.
Springtime
You're my
romance.
favorite.
I love romance. That's so sweet.
Springtime romance.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Beacon House Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey.
I'm Spence.
See, he can't hold it. And today we have a very special guest. I'm so excited.
And it's not Hunter, for the record.
Mr. and Mrs. Pedal Java are here.
Yes, we are.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
We've been fans of Beacon House Podcast for a long time. I think I found you guys about a year and a half ago. I download you on the podcast app, but sometimes I get you on YouTube also.
Oh, I'm so excited. Also, do you listen to us in the car? Because I feel like that's a really good way to get your rage out, is to listen to us just talk nonsense.
No, Monday is my podcast day. I just generally consume all the podcast episodes on Monday, and that seems to line up with pretty much everybody. A lot of episodes come out on Monday, so I'll just turn it on and do my dishes, do my laundry, clean the house while I just let that thing play. Or sometimes I'll just cast it to the stereo too, so I can hear it everywhere in the house.
Boy, you
Yeah.
make me sound like a slacker. What am I doing if you're cleaning the house?
You're
Lord.
listening to the same podcast.
So thanks by proxy. You know,
Yes.
we appreciate you. We appreciate you also streaming us, whether you had a choice in it or not. You know?
So I guess the best way to describe what Pedal Java is you guys are a moving coffee shop that does mainly conventions and events in downtown Knoxville. And
Would you guys
all
say
over.
that? Would you guys say that you're kind of a coffee version of like a food truck?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Sort
that's
of
not too far off.
Yeah, we are 100% mobile, and we have 6 coffee bikes. And they're not enclosed like a food truck, but we're 100% mobile and typically just serve events and conventions. I think last year it was 71 events and conventions in
man.
2019.
Where did you do was it like the convention center downtown? Probably.
Yeah, Knoxville Convention Center, Sevierville Convention Center. We also travel.
Yeah, you guys go all over.
Oh, yeah. We go to Pittsburgh a few times a year. Anywhere there's a big gathering of people, we're there 100%.
Well,
Nashville,
I also,
Kentucky.
I would like to interject that we're all drinking Pedal Java coffee right now. That you were so kind to provide us, and it is. Pardon my language. It's fucking good. So good that we talk like that on this podcast. If you didn't already know,
Oh, we knew.
it's
We knew.
so good. Would you mind describing real quick? Because we're also streaming this on Facebook Live.
Oh, yeah.
So some people already maybe heard us talk
Well,
about this.
this is a
fake.
simple roast. It's a single origin. And about half of our coffees are single origin roast where they come from one farm in one region. This particular one comes from the Jimicor Mountains in Nicaragua. And it's grown in limited agricultural space on these ridges of mountains. So they grow fruit trees in a row, and below the row of fruit trees, they'll grow coffee and they'll grow chocolate. And they've got multiple growing seasons doing it this way. And it is a dark roast. We roast it really dark. Not quite French roast or espresso roast, but pretty dark so we can enhance those walnut tones and those kind of smoky floral notes that come from the Nicaraguan. We call it the shade. Nicaraguan
grown.
shade. And the shade
That's
is
awesome.
available on our website, and we do local deliveries around Knoxville because when the convention stuff dried up, and it wasn't like a slow trickle.
It was done.
We literally pulled up to an event.
Oh, gosh.
There was supposed to be 5,000 people at the Sevierville Convention Center for a cheerleading tournament.
Yeah, the second weekend in March.
And we pulled up with vans full of 60 gallons of milk and 100 pounds of coffee and all this whipped cream and all these flavors and cups, and they're literally turning us away. The thing has been canceled.
No.
Because of what, we said. What? This virus thing. It canceled. What? Why would it do that?
Like, it's not going to
That
last.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But within a week, everything had been
gone,
canceled.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not just for a couple of weeks. They started canceling things well into the end of this year.
Yeah.
And so we had to change the whole game plan.
Yeah, we went from all conventions, all events to selling our coffee beans or doing these quarantine kits that we delivered all around Knoxville. We shipped to help people get their coffee fix in this crazy time. that
Casey,
is
didn't you
2020.
get? You've been the recipient of that
yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah, we know what Casey
Well, we don't
lives.
want to put him on blast, but I could find his address without the GPS.
Yeah,
Let's just say
exactly.
that.
I know exactly.
How many jars do you have, Casey, right now?
I think I got two. I got two at a time for a while, and then a couple of times I got 3 or 4.
Probably looks like a
jars.
frat house wall of
I-
empty
jars.
I
cold
think-
brew jars.
I think I counted the last just to make sure I got this right for you guys being on here. I think I have 47 jars, 48 jars of mason jars, and they all have Best By dates on them, starting from March until July something.
right.
No wonder you're so wound up all the time.
I mean, for 4 weeks during this whole pandemic, I just didn't work, and I was at home, and I slept weird hours because it would just be like, oh, it's 7 o'clock at night, I feel sleepy, and then I'd wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and be like, well, I guess that's my 5 hours. I'll pour some more coffee and stay up for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys helped me not lose my mind.
I
doing that.
love the idea that you guys adapted like that, like that you, because a lot, we're friends with quite a few coffee places, and a lot of them were just like, well, we'll see if we make it out of this, you know. And like, but
Yeah.
I love that you guys are doing the deliveries, and you kind of talk a little bit more about that. Like, what's the quarantine kit? What do people got to do if they want to get it? You know.
Well, the bottom line is we had to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And-
100% of our household income is Pedal Java.
We would
100%.
sell a few bags a month before COVID hit. We mostly use the bagged coffees that we roasted and produced for our own events, and that's what we served for our customers. And it was a great selling point to say, hey, this is locally roasted coffee we're about to make you a mocha frappuccino out of. But now it's 100%. And we planned on developing that bean business to, eventually sustain us. But that was years out. We were thinking it'd take
5-year plan.
5
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
to get to that point. But then we were forced to do it in 5 months.
Right. And I will never forget as we left the Sevierville Convention Center, we're turned away. This is like a Thursday, and the event started on Saturday. Okay. So we turn back around, and we have probably 50 or 60 big canisters of Ready whipped cream. We're like, what are we going to do with all this whipped cream? Like, we have got to do something. We had all of this cold brew. We're like, okay, we have to do something with this or it's going to go bad. So we made a decision. Hey, we can sell a kit that has everything someone would need to be a barista at home. And those kits at the beginning of this pandemic started with a syrup, like a caramel, vanilla, hazelnut, so on and so forth. A squeeze bottle of sauce, like caramel, chocolate, white chocolate, so on and so forth. 32 ounces of pre-made cold brew. A bag of coffee, and all of our coffee bags are a true pound, 16 ounces, and then a little travel cup. And we decided we're going to put these out, and then we're going to start recipe videos for our customers to show them how to replicate drinks that, say, they would have gotten at
So they could go watch a
conventions.
video and figure out how to
Correct.
do it.
Exactly.
TikTok, right?
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and we do those videos on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Every channel we're on has those videos.
How many videos, recipe videos a week do you think we do?
Oh,
you do
my-
2 a day on TikTok, generally.
do,
2 a
yeah.
day.
Wow.
And that's what you got to do on some of these social media networks is you have to be so prolific to keep your ranking. And she got real popular real fast on TikTok. I don't know. There's 12,000 people that watch her every day.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And you started how long ago?
2.5
A
months.
month ago, 2
Yeah,
months ago.
That's
2.5
mind-boggling.
months. Yeah.
And
Whoa.
you guys do an episodic show on YouTube, correct?
We do.
Cream and
yeah.
sugar?
Yep, more recipes than that one too. So we're up to probably 20 recipes a week. And some of them are ridiculous because we're getting crazy to find ideas. Literally before we came here, we were shooting 4 TikTok videos for her channel. and one of them you called the Elvis. Tell them what was the Elvis.
Well, first of all, it was delicious.
Casey
so.
may love it. It's a cold brew. It's a cold brew drink.
Yeah, it's
First
Careful,
things
because you're
first.
first of all, hey, be careful because you're going to bring me
Phenomenal.
like 6 of them a week at my house.
What is the Elvis?
Yeah,
Let's hear about
it's super
this.
easy. So it is a peanut butter mocha cold brew, and then it's a homemade cold foam on top, which I put basically a cup of heavy whipping cream in the blender with about an ounce of banana syrup, blend it, and it sits on top like a homemade whipped cream.
Yeah.
So,
Hunter, you're not allowed to have any.
so trying to make Elvis proud with that one.
Oh my god!
That would take care of business.
It sounds so good.
So, and they have that. You have that in a kit. Like you could order the Elvis kit. Or
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
We have all the ingredients and all the parts and pieces, and you can build your own kit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But we have some that are already ready, like the Chocoholics Anonymous, which is all the chocolate and white chocolate and dark chocolate.
You hear
all
that,
the kinds of
listeners?
chocolate.
Do you guys are you guys listening to this? Everybody, do you guys hear that? You know you need that. You know you need that during the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
You're stuck at home. You know you need that.
You're stuck at home with some of you have toddlers.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You gotta
have coffee.
Yeah, you need that caffeine.
No, the
Are
toddlers
you,
need the coffee.
Are you hearing that? Oh man, I
Can you
can't
imagine having the Elvis as well as eating Stock and Barrel's Elvis as well? You know how much
Wow.
peanut butter or banana that would be?
That's really
Almost
healthy.
enough.
It's a lot of
nearly.
protein.
Yeah, nearly enough.
Nearly enough. Well, another thing that really happened that was interesting through this pandemic is we had all single origin coffees
Right.
before this. So we had a Costa Rica, Nicaragua, so on and so forth. And then we decided, hey, we should do some flavored coffees.
Yeah.
Right. And we started this line of flavored coffees. The first was Devil's Food,
I
which
went kicking and screaming into this.
he did.
I
Now,
did not really believe that people wanted flavored coffees.
but they do, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Guilty.
Devil's Food was a triple chocolate coffee. That was the first. It was very popular.
Oh my god.
And so once that one kicked off, then from there we did a Granny's Pecan Pie, which is exactly what you think it would be. And that went to Tough Nut, which is a hazelnut
Yep.
infused coffee. And then what was after that? Oh, Pirate Booty, which is coconut rum. And then
Oh
our
my god.
Have I had that? I feel like one of you guys brought me that.
I think I might have brought the Devil's Food Cake.
No, I would have remembered.
I don't
that
think you
'cause
would have shared it.
Yeah.
I
don't think I would.
You would not have shared
I'm
that.
guilty of enjoying chocolate flavored coffee. I didn't.
Now,
Oh man.
I will say it, like the Devil Food Cake cold brew. You guys dropped it off, and I was like, because you guys said it tastes just like Devil's Food Cake.
Yes.
And I was like, there's no way.
Oh yeah, there is.
I was like, I have to have this, and so I poured a glass, black, no cream, no sugar, and just drank it. And I was like, it's like they put cake in my mouth. It's like they just crumbled it
So
up
now,
in a jar and they
question
went
for you
liquid
guys:
cake.
is that a okay? I'm so obsessive over coffee, but I'm so ignorant of how it works. You know, so that's a thing you do when you roast it. Is that when you add the
Correct.
flavor?
Yes, we do find coffees that have natural notes that we're seeking, like
Yeah.
the chocolates and the caramels and stuff like that. But in this particular case, they're using all natural extracts. They're 100% organic, all natural extracts. They're not chemical flavorings. They're not synthetic in any way. But we add these all natural extracts after the beans fall into the cooling tray while they're very hot after the roasting process. And these all natural extracts just sort of sear, they sort of bond with the outside of the coffee bean, the crispy skin of the coffee bean.
Yes.
Oh my! I can see it. You explain it so well.
Yeah, it's
I'm
almost just like spices.
visual- oh.
You know, we're just adding spices to a meal that's already delicious.
How do you hone down the actual recipe for that though? If you're infusing all those
the
things.
The trick is with because we insist on using only all natural extracts, our choices are very limited. And I wish we had 50 choices that we can make and mix and match flavors like the potato chip company does. They can make anything. Potato chips taste like anything.
Yeah.
But with coffee, and especially with trying to do it organically and all naturally, you don't have that many choices.
Yeah.
So we fully expanded the flavored coffee line, and we're going to continue to do that. But don't expect Mardi Gras king cake flavors or anything.
But would you want that, Casey?
wacky?
All I can-
Actually, that sounds good. I regret
I would
saying
drink-
that.
I would probably drink that.
I would
yeah.
drink King's Cake. However, could you do me a favor and also start another business where you just talk really like gently into a mic about how coffee's made?
Yes.
Because that would put me asleep immediately. Like I would drink coffee to stay like awake.
There's a channel on YouTube.
But I would please ASMR coffee instructions.
He's like, it's
for
out
me.
there, buddy. It's out there.
Well, there's a guy in England.
It's you.
Named James Hoffman.
Oh.
And he is he's a former international barista champion. And he has a very successful coffee roasting business in England. And he has a YouTube channel that's just fantastic because he has this same British accent, but talking about coffee. And he's coffee, just the way he says coffee is so soothing. So I always decided if I was going to do it, I was going to be the Southern James Hoffman.
Yes.
Just a Southern version of him with a little
coffee.
more sweetness.
Casey's right. You sound great. It's awesome, man.
For you
It's
guys,
awesome.
for you guys listening, if any of you are on the fence as far as what you want to try when you order from Pedal Java, the thing I can say about
The
the
only
devil
solution
food
is
cake,
to try it all.
Yes, the devil food cake is something that Casey still. I think you did this Friday. Is why it's occurring to me so much right now.
What'd I do?
Well, he'll come over to the house to hang out with us, and he'll walk through the door and just sigh and go, "Man, I just had some of that devil food cake cold brew. It's so good, just so good." And just
I
drop. No,
know what I like.
Yeah,
Like,
just sharing the love constantly.
all I'm saying is,
So, I mean, spring
tomorrow
for
when
that
I
one.
wake up, I know exactly where I'm going online.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Getting an Elvis.
You guys should have told me more about what they had. You've not done a
You
good
should
job
do your
of
research
informing me.
better.
Hey, no, it's
probably
not a
right.
research
The
problem.
shade is deep.
Hey,
Guilty.
if you listen to me, ever, but you don't.
That's true. That's probably my fault. You've probably said something. I just tuned it out because you're you.
Because I'm.
No, but so you guys have all this stuff, and they can order it online, and I'm assuming on all social platforms, you guys are Pedal Java or at Pedal Java on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Yes.
Is there anything anybody needs to know beyond that to find you guys and follow you?
Well, no, we made it really easy. In fact, we had to do some technical upgrading to our website, which was always able to sell and ship coffee beans all over the United States. But we've actually done some modifications to it that allow us to do free local deliveries 6 days a week. And we can take those coffee beans directly to your doorstep and drop them off, no contact. You pay online, no shipping charges will be added. And within 24 hours, we got it right on your door. So we've really gone to great lengths to not just survive this pandemic, but try to find another way to market this coffee business that we really desperately want to succeed.
And if you think about that, that's huge, man. Like free local shipping is gigantic. I mean, nobody's doing that. That's big. That's really that right there should be at least enough of a that should be enough of a reason for anybody listening to this to give it a shot.
Yeah,
or go online, order something, just try it out. What have you got to lose? Especially if you're in Knoxville. You know, come on. And if you're not in Knoxville, order some anyway. Do it. Consider it a favor to me. Like I know we've got a couple people who listen on the other side of the country and in Chattanooga and various places. We love you. Order some.
I will say good luck getting Devil's Food Cake cold brew.
Casey's
because
got
I'm
all of
gonna
it.
bleed that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bleed that dry. Just hook me up with an IV, and I'll stay awake forever.
We've been so excited to have you guys on. From day one doing this, you guys were like somebody we wanted to get on the podcast.
We've been
and
trying
it's
for a
taken
long time
so
to
long.
get this done.
I think we got too excited and kind of jumped the origin story gun a little bit. Do you guys want to tell us how this started?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah, it's a different kind of story.
Oh,
It
let's-
is a different kind of story.
Well,
I'm all for it. I'm all
we
for it.
are both former technology workers, and we have always been office workers, and in the fluorescent lights and the portable walls and the large teams of people, and we were always making coffee and enjoying coffee that was just something better than that typical office swill. So,
Yeah.
you know, I started bringing in locally roasted coffees and gadgets into the office and making coffees for my coworkers and friends. Ashley was another coffee enthusiast, always finding ways to drink new and exciting coffees. So we just met over coffees and went on dates over coffees. And when we were getting married and planning our wedding, we looked for a coffee bar to serve at our wedding and found nothing like that. And if the whole story be told, I was a little hungover when we went to this one wedding show, and she was trying to get me to try all this like wedding cake and
Barbecue
and my stomach was a little. I just said, what would be great if there was someone with some really good strong coffee here. That's really what I want. And there was nothing like that. Wouldn't it be great if we could have that at the wedding? Of course, nothing like that. So immediately after we got married, we got started working on this idea.
Yeah, within maybe a month or two.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And really, it was built in the aisles of Lowe's and Home Depot, the very first cart. And from there, I would say 2 or 3 months later, we had an agreement with the Knoxville Convention Center and started going in and doing the very first event we ever did was a gymnastics tournament. And I was still working my full-time job, and he went in and worked it. And then we started to see, wow, this could be something. And then I'd say a year later, I had quit my full-time job.
That's amazing.
As well. And then we, 2019, thank you, baby. We really started branching out where I would take a team to one place and he would take a team to another place in order to do 71 events, And
We were actually, as this pandemic started, we were forming the third team. And we have this amazingly talented barista who's been with us for a couple of years now. She's actually married to one of y'all. Which one is it?
Me.
Shut up. You shut
Hunter's wife.
Shut your mouth.
Hunter's wife has worked for us for 2.5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And we found her at this tiny little bookstore coffee shop.
Yep.
She was totally the jewel in this really crusty crown.
Yep.
Which is not even there anymore, as I understood today.
Yeah, gone.
But Miss Eliza
Yes.
joined us when she was still a Wetherington.
That's
and
true.
now she's a Barnhart, and she's been an amazing employee, an amazing asset. And she was actually set to start taking out the third team
Yep.
and leading the third team on her own when this happened. But we're going to get back to that.
We are going to get back to
She
that.
was our guest, last week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She
She's
was on
our
here.
conspiracy theorist.
I was
Yeah.
We talked
wondering,
about human
is she
trafficking.
the voice at the beginning?
She is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it might
She
be.
is.
The stupid one at the beginning of the podcast.
It's
life
funny
was
too
me,
because
but
we've done
we
some
fixed
live
that.
events. Like we did several live events down at Central Depot in the old city, and she was there, and everybody was like, everybody was trying to get her to say there, do the thing. But yeah, she's the voice at the beginning.
I can't tell you how much she loves working for you guys either.
She's a delight.
she
That's true.
always
is.
I've heard her talk about that too. So she's that says a lot about you guys too. Not just to be
Yes.
ambitious and successful,
But to be
and
good.
passionate, but also just to be like good employers. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, we try really hard. I mean, it is tough work when we are in the middle of events. Sometimes it can be a 16-hour day, you
Yeah.
know, and there's no breaks or there's, very few, not enough ever. And she just rolls with the punches like a champ. So
That's awesome.
We
And when
love
we
her.
get back to work, we'll get all of them back to work.
yes,
too.
we will. Yes,
And,
we will.
we've been able to survive and pay our bills on bagged coffee, but our employees, they need to start making some
yes, they do.
drinks.
Yes, they do.
Well, a lot of people say that this pandemic, it's going to kind of separate the good businesses from the bad businesses in terms of how they treat their employees and stuff. And so, just knowing that about you guys, like that, I think you guys will come out on top probably. Even though this is horrible, there's got to be a silver lining about how you care about your people and stuff. And a lot of places just didn't do that. A lot
Yeah.
of places
Yep.
just kind
That's true.
of rolled through this, and they just started throwing people overboard.
Yeah, the essential workers that were
Yeah.
the fast food front lines. Those people really got the raw end of the deal
Yes,
in
they
this
did.
thing. Talk about not getting paid what you're worth in this situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if we were able to get back to work and work large events and have big sports tournaments and big conventions come back to town, I would feel awful putting anyone in any kind of precarious position
Yeah.
to work and risk catching something that is not just a simple cold. But
That's true.
I love your origin story. I absolutely love it, and I love the idea that like you guys were planning the wedding, and you wanted good coffee at the wedding, and there just was. After hearing that, I can't imagine anybody having a wedding without you guys at it.
Yeah.
Can you? Because I've been. How many weddings have you been to where there's like the coffee was like okay, like they spent a ton of money on the catering, the coffee was terrible. and you just sort of roll with it. But imagine being able to have pedal Java.
Yeah, I need a
What
cake
was,
cold brew, and you guys are gonna make it.
What was your first coffee like? What was when you guys decided to go in and do that? I guess you had already been bringing it to the office. Were you ordering it and roasting it yourself then?
No. I had friends who had roasters, and I kind of, they say like you're always standing on the shoulders of giants. We couldn't have done this with all of our partners who were so important to us. Our roastery is the Golden Roast, and all of our coffees are imported through them and roasted there to our specifications. But they do a lot of blends, and they do some flavored coffees. But we wanted to focus on single origins. Our original coffee was our espresso. We called it our Too Tired Espresso.
Awesome. Oh, too tired.
tired.
We're a coffee bike. We've got 2 tires. So, and it's also great if you're too tired. So our Too Tired Espresso was the first roast we ever did.
Yep.
And the most recent
So
has my face on the cover.
Oh, and this is such an awful story.
No, this is-
I'm just going to put you on blast right here in front of God and everybody.
Yeah, well,
Let's
you're
go.
on, your face is on Devil's Food
Yes.
because you are the devil.
That is 100% not true.
Well,
100%.
on the
So
bag.
That's just that for the record. That's what the devil would say.
yes, but why? Okay, so I get the very first flavored coffee we do is Devil's Food, right? It's triple chocolate. I'm a chocoholic, so our artist Hag Colt that drew all the bags drew me as the devil, and she drew both of us in fairness, and we picked. It was funnier for it to be me because it's the furthest from the truth. Okay.
I don't know if it's that far.
It is far, trust me. So then the newest flavor that just dropped this week is called Angel Food.
Of course,
Tell
who would
me
be the
why.
angel?
Tell me why this man right here thinks he's the angel.
Oh, you're the angel.
He's the angel and I'm the devil.
I also feel like you had to fight tooth and nail to get your face as the angel. I feel like she was like, "Oh, it's me," and you were like, "No, it has to be me."
I was thinking of like family members to incorporate because it was obviously not him. And
I don't think it's that far of a stretch, to be honest. I look
okay.
great as an angel.
yeah, he's the kind of angel that like would love you forever, but also smite you if you came against him.
This
Like
cup
John
of,
Travolta and
this,
Michael.
Yes.
this
Satan
cup of
was
coffee
an
he
angel.
handed me was angelic.
Satan was an angel, right?
I guess
At one
so.
point.
Yeah, I guess so.
Theology
He's
and
true.
coffee.
That's
the
right.
title.
Well,
That describes
any
my
event,
20s.
I wouldn't know. I
There's
didn't read the
something
book.
for
I know.
there's something for everyone, and we have single origins flavors. We even have a new decaf that'll blow your mind. It's so good for
It is
decaf
good.
coffee.
And that's big too because a lot of them,
Yeah.
a lot of decafs aren't
Yeah.
too hot.
But
Casey.
the sticker says "Death Before
It
Decaf."
does. It does. So we were very anti-decaf for a long, long time. We had these stickers printed maybe a month ago that say literally "Death
Thousands
Before
of-
Decaf."
I'm holding one right
with
now, and
skulls.
it's awesome. I'm gonna hold it up for the people if anybody's looking on
And
Facebook.
so, but then we were like, we really need a decaf because we kept getting all of these requests, and so it felt a little emotional to do it. But it's a great coffee, so I can't be mad at it.
Right.
Is there a secret to? And of course, we don't want you guys to give all your secrets away.
Just most of them.
Is there a certain way that you manage to get a good tasting decaf? Is it the
Yeah.
way you roast it or something?
Well, it's the process before it's roasted, actually. And this is a process that we don't do. And the equipment doesn't exist in Knoxville to do it. But it's called a Swiss water decaf process. And by what they're doing is soaking the coffee beans under high pressure water, which extracts all of the caffeine, 99% of it, but also a lot of the flavor as well. So they after they remove the caffeine from the water by bonding oxygen to the caffeine molecule, it bonds and then they can get rid of it and it'll stay out of there. They reinfuse the coffee with that flavor, basically reinfuse it to get that flavor back in there. And it's a new way they've been doing decaf coffee that it really changed my ideas of what decaf coffee tastes like.
Yeah, and were they before just not reinfusing it? Like they
Yes.
would wash the
Yes.
caffeine out and then you just get that.
And then all the flavor went as well. So then why am I drinking decaf?
Which I think
It's
that's
pointless.
probably the experience a lot of people have had with decaf,
Sure.
which I also feel death before decaf like that too. But if there was a good decaf alternative, then you could drink coffee right before bed. How great would that be?
And
You don't sleep though. Anybody else could.
I
You
might
should.
now. This could be it.
and calmness and decaf, it brings me down. It's like a chamomile tea. Makes me go to bed.
Also, some of us are diabetic.
Get over it. That's not my fault.
Well, some
Don't make me feel
people,
bad.
and we don't want to like pick on anyone, but there are a lot of people in this world who exist on terrible coffee so much that they don't realize the terrible coffees
true.
that they're ingesting
Yeah.
all the time. And when we give them the tools and the beans and the recipes and the ideas to do this at home, to empower them,
It changes things for them.
in a not a pretentious way,
Yeah.
too. Like to be able to do it nice, Southern.
Yeah, we've talked about our brand identity a lot through, I guess, the last almost 5 years. Is that we want to be knowledgeable, we want to educate, but we never want to come across as too good or stuck up. And we've all had that barista, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I can name you several that I've had through the years that think they know more than you, and it's intimidating to ask questions or to try to understand.
Yeah.
It's intimidating to me as a coffee owner, you know.
Yeah.
I can imagine how it would be intimidating to others. So we never want to come across that way.
And I think
ever.
that's the trick, is to be friendly about it. A lot of people
Yeah.
just don't understand. It's been in a lot of other cities a lot longer than in Knoxville. That was a lot of people's first exposure to like kind of high end coffee, and there wasn't even a Starbucks in Knoxville for a long time.
Yeah, back then.
And so a lot of people just didn't understand, and they thought McDonald's was about as good as coffee got for a long. They just
Pilot.
didn't- Yeah. So the Pilot had
Weigel's
claimed to have
cappuccino.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Weigel's cappuccino, I
that
grew
started
up with that,
for so
yeah.
many people. God, that was back in the 90s.
Weigel's
Man.
cappuccino every Christmas.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid.
Or eggnog latte or whatever. But like, yeah, there was
Goodness.
a thing, and so I think that's huge, is to be approachable about it. And people are going to have questions, and they probably feel dumb asking some of the questions. And I know that all the people that we're friends with that produce coffee in Knoxville have all been super cool about it. And I think that's big, and that's cool that you guys are there for it. So reach out to them. If you guys are listening to this and you have questions about, well, how does this work and how does that work? I mean, obviously, your YouTube channel.
Yep.
You have
Yeah.
instructional videos. You're on TikTok. You
Instagram.
guys are super friendly and approachable.
Yeah, you could tell us what you're brewing with, what kind of brewing equipment you have, and what situation you're in, and we can recommend the best roast, the best blends for you.
Or
and
tools if you need additional tools.
That's right. We can help you get a cold brewer for your house to produce your own cold brew at home. Casey should add this to the list. Casey needs for Christmas.
Casey.
What?
A cold brewer.
But if I do that, then I won't have to see. I can't see you guys all
Well,
the
we'll
time.
bring you.
We'll bring
plenty
you
of
the
Devil's
coffee
Food
to go
coffee
in it.
to go in
Okay.
there.
I do still have a bag of pecan pie.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
there you go.
Do you guys sell like an apparatus for making cold brew at home?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It's actually called the World's Best Cold Brew Kit. And it's $32 on our website, pedaljava.com/beans. And it can be shipped anywhere.
Anywhere.
And it comes with instructions because life is hard. Coffee should not be. Okay.
I love that.
And-
That's a good phrase.
Love that.
great.
Yes.
It brews 2 gallons of cold brew.
It does. It does. So you could get 51 ounces at a time, which for the average person, not Casey, for the average person, that would probably last,
Day or two.
no, maybe 4 days.
For me,
maybe.
a day or two.
For Spencer,
Yes.
an hour.
Yes.
No, come on. I do limit my coffee intake. I just drink a lot at once.
Yeah,
you know?
hour and a half, sorry.
Well, the good thing about the cold brew is it's low acidity.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't hurt your tummy like slamming a bunch of espresso drinks.
That's cool to know that
We
that's an
actually
option.
have 3 varieties that are significantly lower acidity than a lot of other coffees. So, and the one that comes with the world's best kit is one of those, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. And it is really bright, fruity, effervescent cold brew that it
Yes.
produces.
Awesome.
It's terrific and
Oh.
very, very caffeinated.
And it's actually what we brought into the podcast.
Oh, it's in the
Yeah.
fridge.
It's
waiting
in the
for-
fridge.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
To go home.
Oh my
Every,
god.
see, I work in a hotel, and every morning I get up at 5:30 to get ready for work. And on my way out, I always pour a jar of Pedal Java cold brew, and I hit the road. And by the time I get to work, it's gone, and I'm sad.
Yes.
because I wanted to save it for the day, and I couldn't contain myself.
Oh man. I can't wait to
I
be
have seen
be there.
Huge growth in coffee in Knoxville, and I've only lived here 8 years. I came from North Carolina, and I love it here. Knoxville's such a warm, accepting, open-minded, beautiful city. But I've seen their coffee experiences grow tremendously over the years.
Yeah.
From just a couple corporate chains to lots of small, locally owned coffee shops. And now they're starting to roast their own coffee as well. And, compare it to the, you guys know a lot about the craft brewery scene in Knoxville,
Yeah.
right? Exploded. There's probably 2-3 dozen coffee or craft beer breweries around Knoxville. But there's only maybe this many craft coffee roasters.
Yeah.
And I'm showing one hand for the people at home. It's so very few compared to the number of breweries and distilleries. Now we've seen a lot of these local shops open up their own roasteries
Yes.
too. And we want everybody to succeed. That's what's great about coffee is people like us who drink coffee every day, sometimes it's Dunkin', sometimes
Yep.
it's Starbucks, sometimes it's Pedal Java. But just being one of those cups of coffee in your day, that makes us tremendously happy.
I think
Yeah.
that's such a healthy attitude too. And you're talking about the craft breweries. One of the really, really good craft breweries here locally that we've also partnered with before is Geezer's Brewery.
Yeah,
Nice.
we love
and
them.
They're great,
Great
and
folks.
we've actually we're waiting on them to open their new
Tap house.
tap house, which is they're posting progress pictures of it all the time. We've even got a T-shirt over there from the first live event we did with them. But we interviewed Jason, shout out,
Jason and Tom.
and but I remember him saying, he said, we feel that rising tides raise all ships.
Yep.
It's
and that
true.
so they weren't in this competitive dog eat dog kind of a thing with all the other breweries. They were trying to have like a culture that supported all of them, and I feel like that's kind of what you guys are saying too, and
Right.
I think that's awesome. And I think that's in the coffee thing. I would almost guess that the coffee has a little more of a convenience aspect. Like people are just trying to grab one on the way to work, and so sometimes they go for like the Starbucks convenience because there's a drive-through or whatever, as opposed to the craft brewery scene, which is a lot more. Let's sit for a while. Hopefully, the Knoxville coffee culture will continue to evolve so that it does foster more of like where coffee is the centerpiece. When people sit down and they go, "Oh my!" Like we're doing. "Oh my God, can you believe this? It has notes of walnut," and like I would love to see more of that, and not just like.
And that's the thing. So going back to what you were saying about people who think they know everything about coffee, unfortunately, that was me in my younger years, being at Books A Million, being like, I got this down pat. I know everything. And then I don't know if this is I'm gonna get struck down by the coffee gods, but then I worked at Starbucks. And while I was at Starbucks, I kind of showed that I was like, oh, I know everything. And the district manager told me to put my money where my mouth is and put me through the Coffee Master program.
Yes.
And made me do all the studying. He showed up on random days that we weren't busy and made me sit down.
Exactly how you did before. Whatever you did before.
He made me sit down and try
so
pastries
good.
with different coffees and tell me what the notes were that matched the pastry and why it matched the pastry. And I got all the way to the point where he was going to send me to Seattle for a week to go work at Pike Place.
That's a hard program.
But Target that I worked at wouldn't allow it because they didn't want me, because I wasn't a manager, but I had to I had a different title and they wouldn't allow that, so I didn't get to go. However, coming out of that was a very humbling experience to the fact that learning more about coffee is always like every day I learn. You can learn something new. It's not something you can master so easily.
Yeah,
But
and
when
different growing seasons,
Yeah.
different climates can affect the coffee from that region so that it's different from one growing season to the next.
Absolutely.
And not just the roasts have to be tweaked a little bit from batch to batch, but also when we get back to cup preparation too, we have to dial our espresso machines in based on different events, different batches that we have, and to make sure that we're producing the best we can.
Yeah.
But these days it's mostly online. Gosh, we produce so many videos. This has become the Pedal Java media company.
Yep.
and I love
And
it.
we just sell coffee. We're a media company that sells coffee.
That's
We
incredible.
never had to do advertising before. When we had our events business, we would go to events where there'd be thousands of people stuck there
Yep.
for a sports tournament or a convention, and we were the exclusive coffee vendor for those people. And we made relationships with them and made them great drinks, but never had to advertise or never had to like go out and drum up customers. But boy, when we started this, it changed everything, didn't it?
It did. It really did. And I think we had to learn how to produce content for large numbers of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how do you sell beans or explain recipes to people that are all over the map in their knowledge base. So some people are very experienced, they've been making their own frappuccinos at home for 10 years, And then you have other customers that are like, well, what's the difference between espresso and coffee?
Yeah.
You know, so you have to really appeal to so many different people. Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
But yeah, we're trying to create an army of home baristas. People who have the freedom to make it themselves in their own kitchens if they want to.
Yes.
And it's really not that hard to do. And it doesn't take a lot of expensive equipment to be able to make delicious coffees at home. It just takes a little bit of education. So we're out there on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram every day to bring value to that bag of coffee. Oh my gosh, write that down. We're bringing value to a bag of coffee. You're not just buying a bag of coffee. No, Spencer, you're not. You're buying
Friendship.
You're buying a shared history in the interest of better coffee in your cup every day. And sometimes it's doing things a different way than you've done before. And
That's true.
Oh, you guys are good, man. You guys are really good.
we will step you through that process on
true.
TikTok.
Well, and I think that's big too. That you don't. Somebody doesn't. You guys are doing all the work. You're doing all the research. All people have to do is just love coffee and be ready to like follow some very basic instructions. And
That's
it can,
true.
Literally, your experience at home can go way up. You know, like this is a great opportunity for anybody listening to move past the K cup, the Keurig. Just move out
Guilty.
of that. You know,
we
Sorry.
actually
I'm so
have
sorry.
a little package that is expressly designed to ditch the K cup.
Yes.
And it's based on a single serve brewing method that anyone can do in their kitchen. It takes just as little time as brewing a K-cup. And the best thing about it is it doesn't produce a lot of plastic in the landfill that's just clogging up the turtles. Man, we got to save those turtles.
Save the turtles.
So this is you can actually compost the grounds and the organic biodegradable filter that it comes in, and you can put it in your garden, and it'll make your maters grow taller.
That's right. And that one is called the Pour Over Pack, and it comes with a pour over cone similar to what we use
Yeah,
to
we're
brew.
making a bigger Chemex style
That's right.
here, but this is a single serve pour over.
Yep, and one bag of coffee of our flavored coffee line, and the filters, and it's only $25.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
and you use that pour over cone forever. Ditch the K cup.
Ditch the K cup.
That's awesome.
I really do need to ditch the K cup.
Protect the turtles.
But it's so
Save the
easy to make
turtles.
keto coffee in a K cup because it
Oh, it
comes
is
pre-made.
I know. I get it. I love the convenience of the K cup.
Well, you know, you can still get the if you're into the keto coffee, which I am too. You can get a creamer that's got MCT oil in it.
Yeah.
It's called Super Creamer, and then you can make that kind of coffee, this delicious coffee, and you can add all the ketogenic properties with the cream.
Now, I will say about your TikTok.
Are you proud of
is
yourself?
The music videos you guys do with like 80s songs. I love
What
it.
is
I
this?
love-
Let's hear about that. I haven't seen
I
this.
love 80s pop, and you guys are killing it.
Everybody loves 80s pop.
That's true.
I don't
can't
know
not
how
love
it
it.
started. How did that start?
I think
It
a
was
bet.
pandemic. It was in
It
the
was a bet, and well, it started with we had watched 2 episodes of whatever the Joe Exotic show was.
Tiger King.
Tiger King. That's it. I'm blocking it out of my mind at
As-
this
By the
point.
way, you made a
but-
great Joe Exotic.
He
Thank you very
did. He
much.
did. So I think that's where it started. Is we had watched like 2 episodes of Tiger King, and he said that I just have to dress up like Joe Exotic. I just have to do it. And I thought, okay, like how am I supposed to respond to this? But okay, fine. And so we did just a funny little video. I filmed it, and he dressed up as Joe Exotic. And then next thing you know, I was Carol Baskin. And we decided, well, we've got to do something else to entertain people, because in this really hard time where people were struggling and just no hope really at all.
People were watching anything.
That's right.
Including the
Tiger
most
King.
stupid shit
Yes.
we could come up with.
Yeah.
It seemed like the more ridiculous idea that we had,
The better.
the more people
Yes.
loved it.
So then came the 80s music videos, and we just recreated probably, what do you say, 25 or 30 different
Oh my-
80s music videos.
Right there where
we do
my
is-
finger is Carol Baskins and Joe Exotic.
Oh my God, I'm looking at it right now. Why have I not seen this? I'm going to
Yeah,
watch it.
incredible.
Literally, I'm going to stay up all night tonight watching
I
these.
think Come On Eileen or something. Was that the
Oh,
first one?
Dexy's
No,
Midnight Runners.
Bananarama.
Okay. Banana
Cruel Summer
was the first.
Cruel Summer.
And so we showed up in the coveralls and the bandanas and the awkward like camera stares.
Oh, my God.
And the silly
I love it.
dances and what was it? 15 seconds of it.
15 seconds. That's it.
And we pushed that up to Instagram, and people said, "What are you guys doing?"
Oh man, I'm in.
I
I'm all
don't
in.
know if y'all are gonna do more of these, but do more of these. So
Yeah. So we did everything from Madonna to MC Hammer to Public Enemy.
Yeah,
to
we went into the early 90s.
Oh,
but
man.
mostly it was late 80s kind of stuff. Don't You Forget About Me and all those.
Yes.
Really emotional 80s rock.
Yes.
I Want to Know What Love Is.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys get any Kenny Loggins? Do you know any Kenny
we haven't
Loggins?
I don't think we did any Kenny
There's a
Loggins.
lot.
Really?
There's a lot in that catalog.
There
It's
is.
There's
a
a lot.
danger zone you're getting into. But yeah, so we started doing 80s music videos, and they were 15 seconds long. And because of that, I have an amazing collection of wigs now and props. And we haven't done any in a while.
You got to keep
so
it going. You've got all this stuff.
If people have ideas and they want to see more 80s music videos, comment or send comments to send messages to us. Tell
Please
us
don't, though.
your favorite
Please
80s
don't.
music videos.
Please.
Can you do Take On Me, or did you already do Take On Me?
Yeah, that one is really hard.
We didn't do Take On
We want
Me.
to do it, but because of the animation
Yeah.
of it, that makes it really hard. But I have seen a filter that looks.
I was going to say you'd almost have to get a filter.
there is a filter that looks like hand-drawn animation,
I'll tell you one that good one. This might be possible to recreate too, but one of the most ridiculous 80s
and it has
music
to be like on the lowest of budget too.
Like
That's a requirement.
Chicago had a song called "Stay the Night."
Yeah.
And they had a ridiculous video where literally this crazy woman killed the whole band just by.
I remember that.
It was absolutely absurd.
She
And
had a fast car.
Peter Cetera is like clinging to the hood of the
Singing.
and they drive through the construction sites, and the band is also the construction workers. It's one of the most absurd 80s videos. It's called "Stay the Night."
I'll have to watch that one.
You guys, if you guys recreate that one, be careful because there was a lot of danger.
Okay.
Anything with Peter Cetera, I'm all in.
I know that feeling.
The ladies love Peter Cetera.
Who's
I
the
love
ladies?
Peter.
I'm not sure who
Me.
you're
Right
referring to right
That
Right
was
here.
now.
from,
I love Peter Cetera.
That's from a TV show or a movie. The ladies love Cetera. I can't remember what though. Saturday Night Live skit or something.
Well, gang,
But it's true.
we're getting about to the end of the podcast
Hunter
here.
disappeared.
Hunter
I don't know
disappeared. He may be. Wait,
I think
Hunter has returned.
Coffee makes him.
I was
poop.
going to say he disappeared in a cloud of insulin, but he's back, so I can't make
Cloud
that
of
joke.
insulin.
Can't make that joke anymore.
Well, let's give them a chance to go ahead and tell everybody anywhere they need to find you, where to go when they want to order. I think you already recommended a good starting point was the Devil's Food, but anything else, you guys go ahead and take the floor for a minute and tell everybody how they can get in touch with Pedal Job. And I'm counting on all you to listen and do it. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. So if you want to find us and see our recipes, see any of our 80s music videos, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Pedal Java, PEDALJAVA. If you want to order coffee, we would love that. You're supporting our small business, supporting our family in these weird times. It is pedaljava.com/beans. We've got everything from the world's best cold brew kit to make your own cold brew at home, a variety of single origin coffees and flavored coffees. We have different flavorings. We have quarantine kits. If you just want something delivered to your door to be able to put together yourself and make it happen, we can do that for you too. Also, if you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. We take all of those questions on our TikToks, Instagrams, Facebook, and YouTube to be able to help you make the best coffee at home possible.
Yeah. It's a Southern coffee media empire we're building. But yeah, that's how it started. And I don't know what it's going to look like in 6 months, to be honest. It may be back to event services, but we may have more varieties and maybe exclusively focusing on our bagged coffees. But for now, I can tell you it's a great value for hand roasted craft small batch coffee. You really can't get it cheaper and better than what we produce. I'd put it up against anybody's in the world. And really the freshness is the key thing. We're roasting twice a week these days, so your coffee is never within a few days old. It's
Fantastic.
very fresh.
Fantastic. And as far as where it's going to be in 6 months, hey, everybody listening, that could heavily rely on you. So show them
Yeah.
some love, man. Order some coffee.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yes,
we'd love
we
that.
would.
And thank you guys for having us.
Dude, thank you so much. And come
We've
back
wanted you on
anytime.
so long.
You guys
Yeah.
come anytime. You obviously know how to get in touch with them. Book it if you guys if you come up with a new flavor.
Yeah, we
or
got
a
a
new
bunch of new
product or
stuff.
something like that. When you get a couple new things like that, come on here. We'll roll it out, tell everybody about it, and try to get them to order it.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome,
we've got
awesome.
this holiday thing we've been planning, and it's going to blow your minds.
That's right.
So we'll
Oh.
go ahead and put that on the calendar.
Do it.
We'll
You guys come back around the holidays.
Yes.
I have a feeling that we're going to need some help with the holidays this year.
It
Yeah,
is
for
a
sure.
cool product. Just
Something,
wait till you
uh,
hear about it. It is.
I'm
so
excited.
cool.
This doesn't seem like it's going to be, even if things really start to dry up here come like October, I still feel like the holidays are going to be real dicey this year.
They are.
And I know you're just teasing it, but already in my head, I just picture a giant bucket of devil food cold brew that I get to dump on myself, like in the
game show.
What's that music video? I don't know.
You're thinking
She's
of the
a
movie
maniac.
Carrie. Yeah.
Flashdance.
Flashdance.
Michael
I can
McDonald.
wear the
Wow.
sweater and then just dump cold brew on me. I would love it.
If it makes you happy, you
yeah,
know.
That's
Do it.
right.
We can do it in TikTok.
We could do a pool with the.
You've just
like the-
committed
the
to it,
darts.
for the record.
100%.
I'm in. I'll be one of the judgy guys, and you have to wear those leg
Yeah.
warmers.
and I'll do the quick little feet.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
And
you
then we
have to
dump
do-
coffee on you. I'm in.
Yeah.
You were talking about a TikTok for the ages right there.
That's
Yeah,
true.
absolutely.
That is true.
Goodness gracious.
Unsubscribe.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Yeah, our pleasure.